Welcome to your tutorial about backbends. Backbends are some of the most misunderstood poses for new yogis. They are actually really good for your back. For most of us, we spend too much time, right, sitting at our desks, hunched like this, reading, on bikes, running. It's all this forward motion. And that's why so many of us, by the time we're 40, have really serious low back problems. So these backbends that we offer in many of our classes are truly meant to heal your back, to decompress your spine, and to give you more freedom of movement everywhere in your life. And they only work if you apply some really basic principles that anyone can master. So let's take a look at some of our basic backbends. The first backbend you'll encounter in this practice is low cobra. And we do this often after we've come down from our high to low push-up. So here, what you would like to do is have your hands right back by your ribs. You're welcome to tent your palms up off the mat. Roll your baby toes down into the floor and then gently lift. So my hands aren't doing the work. I'm not craning my neck, right? Your chin's just gently down toward the ground. And the other key here is that people tend to want to squeeze the butt muscles to feel like they go up higher. But what you've just done is compress your lower back. So roll baby toes to the floor. Your glutes work, but they're free. Your hands are light, and it's really, you're drawing forward and slightly up in the spine. All your back muscles are working, and that is healthy. So that's low cobra. Another backbend that you'll see from the belly is very similar. It's called locust. So in locust, you're here, forehead down, palms down. Engage your quadriceps, your kneecaps lift. Spin your baby toes to the floor. And then you rise, legs, arms, chest. Again, you don't need to stick the chin forward. Think of your spine as an extension from your tailbone up to where the spine hits the occiput of the head. Breathing, take another breath in. And then you could come down. We rest. Bow pose is essentially the same pose, just with bent knees. So if it is accessible to take a hold of your ankles or feet, you do that. And then you simply rise up, inner thighs still spin to the ceiling, and lift your chest. It's not about how high you go. The second your knees go out and you crunch your low back and you're struggling, you need to come back out of the pose and reset it. It's really about the lift of the spine. Another variation that you'll see is called camel. Camel, you're standing on your knees. Your toes can be tucked under or long behind you. In this one, think about squeezing your knees and feet together, lifting up in the spine, and your hands can be on your low back, squeeze your elbows back. That can be plenty. Lift your chest, breathing. 3. Press your baby toes into the earth. 2. 1, and then come up, both shoulders at the same time. So that's all you need to do for camel. You'll see more variations that are really deep, and there's one of the things I love about the practice is we, for years and years, have space to explore and grow, but it doesn't mean we need to do it all every time or right away. The last two backbends that you'll see a lot of are bridge and wheel. Bridge, you're going to set it up so your feet are hip width, and by hip width, I like to think inner edges of feet line up with my outer hips. Knees are going to be right over your heels, and you roll up. Generally wanting to keep the neck up because you have some load bearing on the head. Roll your shoulders underneath you and interlace your hands if that feels good, but it's not required. I'm pulling my heels towards my shoulders, relaxing the glute muscles. The butt muscles work, but they don't squeeze. So watch what happens if I squeeze my butt. I go a lot higher. But what happens with that is now my low back is constricted. So again, relaxing sit bones, roll your inner thighs down a little bit and squeeze the heels in to activate your hamstrings. Release down. Wheel, you'll take your hands up above your head, and from here, press down, rise up. This will not be accessible to everyone right away. You're aiming for your toes and your knees to face the back of your mat. Some of you will need to turn your toes out. We understand that. And you come down, both elbows bending, and rest in what we call Supta Baddha Konasana. You'll notice that those key principles in back bends are there everywhere. Relax your glutes, spin your inner thighs in, lift and lengthen your spine. And with that, you'll find what's that place where it's healthy for you to work and what's overdoing. And you're always invited to take care of yourself in that. Yay, here's to healthy, happy backs that allow us to move and play long into our lives.